Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm super. Nice to meet you.
You too. It's great to see you. Even just, virtually. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us today.
Of course.
If it's all right with you, we'll just get started. And can I have you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Bill Coleman. I run a company here called Peace Biscuit, and we most recently collaborated with the amazing Red Hot organization on an album called Red Hot and Free that I'm super proud of and so happy that it's out in the world to spread a little love and joy and happiness and hopefully turn up.
Yeah. And just about how you got your start on this project. I mean, this isn't the first Red Hot album. They've had Red Hot and Blue and Red Hot and Dance, but what was your involvement? How did you join on?
I've been sort of a friend of Red Hot's for many, many years. One of my good friends, Beko Duranov, is an A&R person and has been one of the first A&R people to work there. He did the original Red Hot and Blue, which is like a classic. So I've always been sort of around. And I joined them. Beko asked me to join. I met the founder, John Carlin, one of the founders, John Carlin, about 3-4 years ago. And Beko asked me if they were looking to do some new projects at that point. I met with John, we got along quite well. And this project started off one way and then sort of landed the way that it landed in 2021. So I officially came on board, I'd say 2018. And we were originally going to do a project called Red Hot in Love. And we were going to do a bunch of cover versions of things. And that didn't really go that way. We started off with Billy Porter and the song Caught in the Middle, which is a cover. So that was sort of the impetus for Red Hot. It was going to be Red Hot in Love and a lot of cover versions. And then I really wanted to work with Sofi Tukker, huge fan. And then when we contacted them, they were totally interested in being part of the Red Hot family and doing something with us, but they weren't really interested in doing a cover. So sort of conceptually, I was like, well, I really want to work with them. We already kind of had started talking to Billy about doing a cover, but maybe we can find a way to do some original stuff and do some covers or mix it up. So that's sort of the genesis of Red Hot and Free, and finding a way to marry some new original material with a couple covers. And at that point, last year during the pandemic, I got very anxious, like a lot of people. And I was like, I have to do something. I can't just Netflix and chill. I need to do something. So we had already started on some of these songs already. So I was like, oh, let me just call some friends. And there were some cool songs out right at that point, some cool mixes that I had been feeling. I'm a huge Ali X fan. Like her remixes were great. And the Aces had this mix of Daydream by Snake Hips, which is awesome. I was like, well, let me just see if we can contact these folks. Maybe we can get a couple of these mixes. We'll put some new stuff in there. I'll get some new remixes done, plus the original stuff. Obviously, we were working on this track with Sofi Tukker and Amadou Mariam. We already had the Billy Porter. And then, mix it all up, sprinkle it with a little, with a little joy. And then voila, we finally emerged with a really great album that we're really proud of. That's raising money for some amazing organizations as well, which is so super cool. And so to be able to marry some cool dance music, some great artists for an awesome organization that's also continuing to raise money for organizations that really need it right now or raise awareness. Trevor Project, Ali Coalition, Sage. It's just like a win-win. So
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much going for it. It has great songs, it has a great cause. And I mean, you touched on the pandemic just kind of throwing everything off a little bit and just kind of working your way through this album and trying to get it out. I mean, so many people have been at home, and I think music is a nice escape for people and a way to find that relief. I mean, was that a motivating part of pushing the album out at this time?
100%. In the mid, like kind of in the sort of terror midst of the pandemic, I knew it wasn't. This was gonna last forever at this stage. And it was really important to me and my business partner, Angelo, that we emerge from this with something tangible that could help people and make them feel good. And just, it's a double album. I'm not expecting everybody to like every song on the record. If they do, that's great. But like, there should be at least something on there that, our DJ friends can play, that you can put in a mixtape, that can, be on a playlist and stuff like that. So we purposely tried to have a wide variety of stuff that hopefully holds together as an album, but also that you can cherry pick. You can start the album at, track 7, and maybe you just want to hear the more techie, housey stuff, or you want to start at the beginning and hear like Mon Cheri and the more funky vibes and Crickets and JD Samson and all that sort of stuff. So it was really important to kind of just have it's like a gift. To me, is almost like a present to everyone. Like, okay, we all been through this sort of crazy, not just a pandemic, but sort of like things that were going on with racial inequality and voting rights. I mean, there was a lot going on for everybody to process. So to be able to provide a bit of solace with some music, and to me, dancing's a cure-all. So it's like whatever type of music you're into, dancing to me, just generally speaking, in music, is a cure-all. It reaches places that other kind of mediums don't go. So it was important for us to kind of like emerge from this with something, something tangible, and putting out some music, cool videos. We just released the Sofi Tukker and Amadou Mariam Mon Cheri video, which is so gorgeous and so proud of. That was really the impetus, and really, really important. And for this album to come out kind of during Pride season and 4th of July, I was just like, everything, the universe sort of collided and made everything happen at the right time. So really, really happy. So.
And just as far as what songs you put on, I mean, you talked about how they have to be all over the place. There's something for everyone. It's kind of just a picnic basket of things. But was there anything that you were like, this has to be on it when you were going along that process?
Well, yes, of course. The Sofi Tukker and Amadou Mariam original was a given, and Billy Porter was a given. Those are sort of the two anchors for me in terms of even just getting the album out, as I mentioned before. But my personal music tastes are so diverse, so it was fun to sort of dig in the crates and introduce maybe folks to Ali X if they didn't know her already, at least through a remix. Maybe they'll go discover her albums, which sound different than the remix, but like, she's amazing, sort of up and coming sort of pop star. Or Crickets, which is sort of like a queer super group. So it was important to me to kind of have a balance of things. Like, we have a Honey Dijon mix of Cakes to Killa, Gloria Gaynor with a cool remix of I Will Survive, which is sort of a perennial classic that everybody knows and loves. Amanda Lepore is on it. So I think it was important to just do our best to sort of represent sort of the dance club culture in the best way that we can, given sort of the parameters of making this record and our budgets, et cetera, so on and so forth. There's a couple people that I really wanted that I didn't get, that I really tried, and I definitely feel should have been on this record. So hopefully they'll be on the next one. But yeah, it's like, it was more important for me to try to show a bit of representation, also given the organizations that we were benefiting as well. So if you look at the album, the organizations that we're benefiting are quite represented within the context of the album, whether it's older artists, younger artists, queer, people of color, trans, there's a little bit of everything there, and that's on purpose for sure.
So the album has been out for a little bit. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks. What has been like the outcome of that? Have you seen people listening to it? Like, have you been exposed to any of how people are taking it in? What has that been like?
Yes, a little bit. I have not been out kind of out running around to too many clubs, but I definitely gotten some messages from a bunch of friends. Still, they're like, I love this record so much, which means a lot. I know certain friends are like, I love this particular mix, or I love, they've been adding specific mixes or songs to their DJ sets. A lot of my DJ friends and stuff like that. We've gotten some really cool press, some nice reviews on the album. So I feel like it's out there sort of doing its thing. As I said, we just released a Sofi Tukker video. We have a You Try Livin' video that's going to be coming later on. We have some Mon Cheri remixes dropping in about a week next Friday. So there's still more to come to sort of like, to complement the album. But I feel like I found that folks have discovered some things or tracks or remixes that they didn't know, which is great. I love the act of discovery and just kind of like turning folks on to stuff. We service like the Caught in the Middle Billy Porter song, which was a cover of an old 90s record. And so I did get a lot of positive feedback from that. I co-produced that with my production partner, John Carr. And we purposely did it as a sort of a nod to the original by Juliet Roberts. So it's sort of musically very similar to the original, because we didn't want to go too far off the rafters with sort of like a completely reimagined version of it. So the positive feedback that we received from that specifically meant a lot. One, because we produced it. Two, because we were purposely trying to show honor to the original version of the song. And it also, to me, was sort of sort of a little nod to Red Hot's legacy from the 90s, to have like sort of a 90s cover, because they released a great dance compilation in the 90s called Red Hot and Dance. So that was like my little nod to them. It's like, let's have a little 90s cover. But the positive feedback we got from that was really good, because it's a pretty revered house record for a lot of the deep house heads. And they're so particular when you do covers of songs, and they will rip you to shreds if you like take something that's sanctified and kind of like bastardize it. So to get positive feedback, and from some top DJs as well, they were like, I want the vocals to that, or I want to remix it. I'm like, okay, so that means that's a good sign when they call you up and like, I love this, I want to remix. I'm like, okay, we did good. We did good on that one. So that was really good, because, and also, we love Billy. Totally at the top of his game right now. We appreciate him being part of this project. So to have a new production of him and have it be received so well that was very just reassuring from a creative level, but also just sort of like, okay, what we were trying to accomplish, we accomplished.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I loved it. I loved listening to it. I can't wait to go out and listen to it more. I haven't been out myself either, but I look forward to that. But I mean, for right now, where can people find the album?
You can find it on all DSPs, thankfully, your Apples, your Deezers, Spotify, etc. We are in the process of getting ready to manufacture CDs and vinyl for the purists. So I think that they'll be ready in the fall. So I'm really excited about that, to have a nice big package with artwork and all that sort of stuff. We did a beautiful package with our designer Mark Gentile, and so I'm excited for that, because I love, you probably see, I love vinyl, just packaging and just being able to hold something and look at it and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. So that'll be, we're shooting for like Record Store Day in the fall to have all that stuff out, which would be awesome. So, but in the meantime, it's completely available digitally. Like I said, there's new remixes that are getting ready to drop and stuff like that. So you can generally find it in most stores, your track stores, Beatport, Spotify, Apple, all that sort of stuff. It's great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on the album again.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us, and keep dancing, spreading some good vibes and joy out there. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you. Bye.
Like this video? Follow us for more.